The Ink and Paint Club podcast is intended for mature audiences. I know we're usually talking about kids' cartoons and stuff, but there's going to be naughty language. Anyway, listener discretion is advised.
You're listening to the Ink and Paint Club podcast, your weekly home for animation reviews and discussions.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Ink and Paint Club podcast. Last week, if you listen to the show, Dustin and Phil were talking about their favorite kind of cartoony kind of video games, and we actually had enough for a second episode, so that'll be the rest of it here, and I will let them take it away.
Why don't you pick the next games we talk about?
How much time do we have?
Who cares? Let's go. Let's go another hour. How about
Well, how about Crash? How about Crash Bandicoot? Because I'm looking at your icon. You have Crash.
I do have Crash. He's giving a hey guy.
Yeah, that's his Skylanders look.
Yeah, I love his Skylanders look, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Plenty of Crash games to talk about. So we'll try not to dwell on them too much, just since there's so many of them. But, let's start at the beginning. Let's start with the PlayStation 1 Crash games.
Good old Naughty Dog, back before they said cartoony games suck.
Yeah, kind of wish they would go back to, and I'm not the hugest fan of Naughty Dog's Crash games, but I still think they're fun. I still think they look good graphically.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, honestly, I always say that the only real Naughty Dog Crash game I absolutely adore is Crash Team Racing, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, let's start with Crash 1. Well, I mean, let's just talk about all the PS1 Crash games, because it's not like they vary that much.
Dr. Cortex was ugly as hell in those, in my opinion.
Yeah, he gets better though. Everything's pretty ugly in the first one, but I think by Warped he looks pretty good.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's all right.
Well, yeah, because you gotta consider it was the first Crash game. You could definitely tell the first Crash game was sort of a budget game.
Yeah. But, it looks great for being a budget game. It has some nice colors to the levels.
Yeah, and a lot of the character designs are really cool. Ripperoo's in there and Crash himself.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. There's... I don't know if I would say a lot of the character designs are great.
Half the character designs, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, because for every Ripperoo and Crash, you have a Koala Kong. So...
I forgot. See, I forgot Koala Kong even exists, even after talking about him.
Yeah. But, they brought back the ones that worked, and the ones that didn't work got left by the wayside.
Which is weird, though, because, Pinstripes in Crash Team Racing, and they still bring him up from time to time, but he was only in the first game.
Yeah. Pinstripe, I think, is alright. I wouldn't say he's, a favorite design, but I wouldn't mind...
if they brought him back.
Bringing him back. Yeah. Well, I mean, they are bringing him back, technically. Yeah, I mean, that's about all there really is to say about the first one. I recently played through all three of them, last year. And, I was kind of dreading playing through the first Crash game, but I ended up really liking it. I was kind of oh man, this is gonna suck having to be, perfect on all these levels. But it was actually pretty fun, learning the levels and getting good at them. For the most part, there's a few levels that I was just I do not want to play this anymore. But
yeah, I remember playing at a family friend's house and they had it, and I only got up to Papu Papu, and I'm like, it's okay, I guess. I'd rather be playing Banjo-Kazooie, but it's alright.
Oh, I'll put Banjo over Crash. At least those early... Well, I'd put them over any Crash games any day of the week. But, what about Crash 2? Let's talk about Crash 2.
I definitely feel Crash 2 definitely got the layout down. A lot of the characters were cool. The levels were nice.
Yeah.
Coco was cool. 2, Engine was cool.
Yeah. I'd say Crash 2 kind of retreaded a lot of the levels of Crash 1, but I feel like it did them better. Not only gameplay-wise, but graphics-wise, they all look
awesome. And they definitely fixed everything. Didn't they give Crash the slide in that one?
Yeah. He has the slide, he has the crouch jump, I think.
All the unlockable moves, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. They brought back Ripper Roo as a gentleman, as a scholar. I thought that was cool, bringing back a character, but couldn't.
Yeah, he was like the only boss they brought back outside of Cortex. I mean, they got rid of Koala Kong. Embryo wasn't in there, I don't think.
Well, he was in the game, just not as like a boss.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Crash 2 brought in a lot of new characters that they kept around. Like Tiny was in there, Engine, Coco.
Weren't a lot of the characters in Crash 2 originally meant for Crash 1, or like Tiny was?
I think Tiny definitely was. Coco definitely wasn't. I don't know what their story is for replacing Tanya with her. I mean, I don't mind it. I actually like Coco a lot, but
yeah, Coco's great.
Yeah, well, you know, a lot of people don't like her, but not like Tanya had any personality.
Yeah, really. She was just,
She was there.
Yeah, and then she wasn't. How do you feel about the Komodo brothers?
They're alright. I mean, they're weird. I mean, they have a neat design, but the concept's like really weird. It's like, why are they Genghis Khan?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind if they brought him back, did more with him. They originally were. They were going to be in Twinsanity. But,
yeah, one of them was playable in Team Racing too.
Just one of them.
Yeah, just one of them. We don't need both. We only need one.
I mean, on one hand, that is kind of weird, but on the other hand, it's not like anyone would have wanted both of them anyway.
Yeah, really. It's like, oh, let's just pick that one.
Yeah, that's good enough.
Let's see. They brought Polar in there too.
Oh yeah, Polar's cool. Polar's nice. Everyone loves Polar.
They like jumping on him for lives.
Yeah.
It's like, sorry buddy,
Polar,
but this is for the greater good, yeah.
What?
It's like Crash is like, sorry buddy, but this is for the greater good. I need this.
Thanks. The loss of your life gives me lots of lives. Let's see. How about Warped? How do you feel about Crash Warped?
Like everybody else, I'm mixed on it. Like, there's some really great levels, but then there's some not so great levels.
Like everyone's favorite, the motorcycle levels.
I think everybody actually likes those levels. They're just really stupidly frustrating as well.
That's true. They all look really cool though. I love the motorcycle levels, especially that one at night.
Oh yeah, like it's definitely one of those love-hate levels everyone likes. It's like, oh, these levels are fun, but they're hard as hell.
Mm-hmm. I hate the underwater levels. Well, hate's a strong word. I don't hate them, but they're definitely.
I never liked the water levels in Crash games, and
they're just slow.
Yeah, they're slow going. It's like I'd rather be running around and jumping.
Yeah, exactly. There's some cool levels in this game, but I don't know. Overall, it doesn't do that much for me. Like it's all right, but like I don't know, the time travel aspect.
They don't really push the time travel aspect all that much.
Yeah,
I will say that Warp does introduce my favorite Crash character, Dingo Dial. I absolutely love.
Awesome.
I love his design, and I really hope if they make a new game, they bring him back. I know they were going to, but that got canned.
That sucks. I thought that looked really cool.
Yep.
At least graphically. I don't know how the gameplay would have been.
Yeah,
cool.
We'll get to that later on down the line here.
Dingo Dial's a really cool design, and I guess they agreed because he's probably the boss that's returned the most since then.
Yeah, they kept reusing him a lot.
Yeah. Did they introduce anyone? Oh, Entropy.
Yeah, Entropy.
Who cares about him?
Oh, and they also brought in Aku Aku's brother Uka Uka in Warp 2.
Oh yeah, he's a staple. He's been around since then.
Yeah, I think it's cool that like the villains have their own magical mask as well, so it gives them a lot more to them.
How do you feel about Coco's levels?
I'm not a fan of the jet ski levels, but I like the ones where she rides Pura.
In the China levels?
Yeah, those are fun. I like those levels.
Yeah, those are fun enough, and I like the music.
Yeah, the music's really great too. I kind of wish they did give Coco like more Crash-centric levels, like they tried to do with Wrath of Cortex, but you know.
Yeah, we'll get to that one.
Yeah, but for what they are, they're not too bad.
Yeah, I agree. I don't really care for the jet ski levels that much, but I love the volcano one, just how it looks. I love those Like the red sky, the weird like purple reflecting on the water, it just looks really cool.
Yeah, and aren't those like the only levels where you can see Fate crash?
Well, not the only, because he's in one of like.
He's in one of them, isn't he? He's just hanging out on an island somewhere.
Yeah, he's dancing in that one. He's dancing in the garden of one of the medieval levels, just kind of doing his thing. Fate Crash is a great character. I love Fate Crash.
I'm kind of glad they used him in Skylanders too.
Yeah, it's weird that of all the characters, they could have brought back Coco, they could have brought back Engine, but they were like, nope, throw in Fate Crash in there. I mean, I'm fine with that. He's cool.
Yeah, I like him too.
How about Wrath of Cortex? Everyone's favorite game in the Crash series.
Oh boy, here we go. Wrath of Cortex. Okay, first off, Wrath of Cortex was the first ever Crash game I actually officially played and bought on my own. And I thought it was okay at the time because I never knew what a Crash game was beforehand.
And how do you feel about it now compared to all the other ones?
It's not bad, but it's not good either. It's playable.
Would you say it's the worst of the Crash games?
Hell no. That title goes to one of the Game Boy Advance games, I'm sure.
I heard the Game Boy Advance ones were actually pretty good, except for like that the Crash and Spyro crossover one.
Okay, then that one.
Yeah.
I'm sure those are a lot worse than Wrath of Cortex. Oh, yeah. And I don't know if anyone would flank me for it, but I'm sure it's better than Crash Bash.
Oh yeah. I never actually played Crash Bash.
It's okay. I mean, it's fun in doses, but I know there's a lot of people who are like, no, it's nostalgia. It's like, go play Crash Team Racing if you want a real multiplayer game with Crash.
Yeah. Crash Bash is basically just a poor man's Mario Party.
It's just mini games, no board game.
Yeah. I have honestly never played that much Wrath of Cortex. I think I rented it once, but that was it.
It's pretty much what it is. It's pretty much warped, but not as fun, and the designs are really ugly looking.
It's basically warped, but not as good.
Yeah, it's uglier, warped, and not as fun. And like all the bosses are just everybody's new favorite character, Crunch.
Oh, everyone's favorite.
Which is weird though. Like they introduced him in this game, and it's like, oh, let's just keep him.
One thing I think is weird is they introduced those like elemental masks, and like, did they even use them?
Nope. It was just this game. It was just this game. Well, that's the thing. Like the bosses were technically them. They were just given Crunch powers, is all.
Oh, okay.
He would take on the form of whatever power they gave him. Like in the first one, he would like be rolling around in a giant boulder, and then another level, he'd be like all on fire or something.
Okay, I can kind of see that.
Yeah, because even Cortex is like, oh, I got elemental masks that will help him out.
Yeah, at least the masks are tied into the themes.
Yeah, exactly. I'll give him that. I'll give him credit for trying that out at least.
So, since I didn't play that much of Wrath of Cortex, I don't have that much of an opinion on
I pretty much told you what everybody's opinion is on it.
Yeah.
It's a poor man's Warped.
One thing I will say about it, I actually really like how the snow levels look.
Oh yeah, the snow levels are really good. Coco has a really fun one I actually like called Avalanche, because you're just running through like a ski resort, and then you're just, as the level says, you're skiing away from snowboarding away from an avalanche. But the music's fun. The level looks really neat.
Yeah, I like the music. What I heard, like it. I don't know how it would compare to other Crash games, but it's fun, bouncy, cartoony.
Yeah, it's pretty much what it is. It's more cartoony-like, but some of the levels, some of the music doesn't really fit the theme all that much. It's like, just throw in this music.
Just whatever, we gotta get this out the door.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's move on to the next game in the Crash series. Well, technically the next game would be Crash Nitro Kart, but do you have much to say about Crash Nitro Kart?
The poor man's Crash Team Racing.
There's a lot of poor man's version of Crash games.
Well, that was a dark time for Crash.
Yeah. I played a little of Nitro Kart, but not a whole lot about it.
Play Crash Team Racing, that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Moving on. Let's move on to Crash Twinsanity.
Let's start off with this. This is the Crash Bandicoot game that me and Dustin became fully obsessed over the series.
Yeah, I don't care what anyone says. This Crash Twinsanity is my favorite in the Crash series.
I don't know. I don't know how to state that. Like, I really like it, but you know, I'm of a creek on that one in terms of favorite Crash. I don't think I can actually pick one at the moment.
I getcha. I'd say it's tied with Tag Team Racing. I can't choose between those two.
Oh yeah, we'll get to Tag Team Racing because the art styles are different.
So Crash Twinsanity was when they first started going like really cartoony with how.
Yeah, they made it more humorous. They replaced Clancy Brown with Lex Lane as Dr. Cortex, who, in my personal opinion, is way better Cortex.
Yeah, I mean Clancy Brown's great, but Lex Lane just brings a whole nother.
Yeah, exactly. Like he can hit both. He can make him like dark and sinister, but he can make him like really whiny and cartoony as well.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Like. Clancy Brown was great, but he couldn't go for like that whiny, like feminine Cortex.
Yeah, his Cortex is always like, oh man.
Oh, Crash, you naughty dog.
That's Lex Lane's Crash.
Yeah. I really like Twinsanity. Like all the levels have a lot of color to them. They have nice designs to them.
Mm-hmm.
Crash's character model, I think, is really good in Twinsanity.
Yeah, he definitely like maintains his original look. Like he has a little more cutesy to him, but like it maintains the cartooniness as well.
Yeah, I think he has more edge to him.
Yeah, but it's not like edgy in your face.
Yeah, especially since he doesn't talk.
Yeah, he doesn't make any sounds. Oddly enough, like in the old games, he go whoa, but in this, he's just silent as hell.
Yeah, he doesn't even go, uh-oh!
Nope, he just smiles and nods, that's it.
Really, the only characters that talk are, like, Coco and Cortex. Well, you know, like, only main characters talk. Well, and the twins.
And the twins. Let's see.
But side characters like Dingo Dial and stuff, too. But it's mainly Cortex.
Cortex is, well, that's pretty much it. Cortex is there with you throughout the whole game, basically.
Yeah, even though you play as Crash for the majority of the game, I'd say this is like the Cortex game. Cortex is like the star of this game.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, this is actually like the first like game within the series where you actually play as him story-wise, not like multiplayer.
Yeah.
Let's see. This game brought in Nina. Nitro Kart was supposed to, but this game decided to do it first.
Yeah. Wasn't it because... Like, was Traveler's Tales originally going to make Nitro Kart, but then it switched over to Vicarious Visions?
I don't remember what the story was. I think the story was, like, they were going to introduce Nina in Twinsanity first, but Nitro Kart got made first, so they sort of cut Nina out.
Oh, okay. I like Nina. I think she's a great new character that they kept around.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Hopefully they keep around.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I don't think anybody opposes the Nina either. I don't think I've ever seen any negativity towards her.
Yeah, I mean, what's there to be negative about it? It gives more to Cortex's character too, having some immediate family.
Yeah, a niece. We haven't said that she's Dr. Cortex's daughter niece.
Wasn't that because they couldn't decide what they wanted?
Yeah, they were like, what do we do? Just make her a niece.
Just whatever.
Yeah,
that's good enough.
That makes it for a funny quote though in the game.
Yeah, that's a game I would love to get an HD remake. Partly because I want to get screenshots of it. It has like great colors in the game.
Yeah,
character designs are all neat.
We should also mention that the game is basically an unfinished, unpolished game, but it still holds up.
Oh, definitely. Like, despite everything that got cut out of it, it's still my favorite.
Yeah, but you could definitely tell it was rushed. But I think the pros shine more than the cons.
Yeah, like even though they cut out a lot, I think there's. Well, I was gonna say there's no like big gaping plot holes, but I mean there's like one. Like, in one cutscene, one of the evil twins mentions something called a vice versa reversa device, and that's never brought up again.
No, not at all. And they don't even talk about how they can take care of Uka Uka and Aku Aku. They just sort of throw them on the floor.
Yeah, just they did something to him. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Crash Tag Team Racing.
Okay, this is when Radical took over.
Yeah, Radical Entertainment took over Crash series.
Best known for Simpsons Hit and Run.
Yeah, and honestly, I love Crash Tag Team Racing. Again, it's the other game that really got me into Crash after Twinsanity.
Yeah,
a lot of people don't care for it. I love it.
Yeah, I think because it brings out more humor. It's the first game where Nina talks.
Yeah, giving her more character.
Kudos to Amy Gross, wherever you are doing right now.
Yeah, really, whatever she's doing. Isn't she just...
She's in Winx Club or something, I think.
Everyone's favorite. That show sure stuck around for a long time.
Yeah, but, like, Radical took over. They made the characters more rubbery looking. They zombified Engine, which, in my opinion, is not bad.
I'll be honest. With Engine in Tag Team Racing, Radical made Engine my favorite character in the series.
Oh yeah, and
he's hilarious in this.
And he was voiced by Nolan North, who was a nobody at the time.
Yeah, before he got really big.
This is way before Uncharted made him popular.
Yeah, I'd say it's 50% his performance, 50% the writing that made Engine just the best in this game.
Oh yeah, because before he was just like this weird mad scientist with a Peter Lorre voice, and now he's like this insane mad scientist with a Peter Lorre voice, but he has like a pretty cute side to him. He's like, I want to.
He's very bipolar.
Yeah, yes, but that's what makes it funnier.
Yeah, he flips between insane maniac to really cutesy. But, like, even though he's my favorite, all the other characters have a ton of great dialogue,
and
too.
Here's the thing. I know a lot of people are like, I don't like how they're doing, but if you go back to Naughty Dog games, it's like the Crash characters never really had much of a personality to work with. I mean, the bosses, you just met them once and that's it. They never did anything but talk to you.
Yeah, and, like, I know a lot of that comes down to, technology at the time, but, comparing them, one version has funnier characters, one has characters that bounce around.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I think I'd rather prefer a bipolar Engine over an Engine who's just like, oh, yes, Dr. Cortex.
I'm going to get you.
Yeah, I mean, that's all he was. I mean, and then they made Coco a little more annoying, but it sort of brings out her personality. Because you brought Nina in, she's a bit more brash that she has a rival now.
Yeah. I'd say this is probably the version of Nina I like best. Just, like, it's kind of nice in between from what came before and what came after. Like, she's kind of has like an ugly cute look where she's ugly but not super ugly.
Yeah, it's a girl you would date.
Yeah, maybe.
As long as she doesn't like pull your spine out of her metal hands.
I was gonna say, in real life, I have a feeling she'd probably be a lot nastier.
Yeah, basically.
But they also made Crunch into Mr. T.
Oh yeah, I don't see why anyone would be upset about it. It's not like Crunch was that great of a character. It's like, well, now he's a bit more likable.
Yeah. I mean, what do you have to compare him to beforehand? He was just tough guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and this was the first game that Jess Harnell officially became Crash and stuck as him.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like Crash's babbling, but I like it, but part of me wonders if it's just because I like Jess Harnell so much. She's awesome.
I feel like, again, Crash, remember in the old games, all he was like is, uh-oh and whoa, but this time
whoa!
Yeah, but now he, like, actually, he's trying his best now.
I think the babbling works. I think it really suits, it helps make him come across as an idiot.
But even then, he's not like a complete idiot. Like he's very well aware of his surroundings. He's just a bit out there.
Yeah, he's kind of an asshole in this game too.
Well, everybody's a bit of an asshole in this game.
That's true. I feel like that's part of what gives it more of a comedic edge. Is like, I wouldn't say all the characters are completely unlikable, but they do have that kind of, that kind of mean.
Well, it's very it's very fitting for this game because remember the whole storyline is they're all competing to save the race in each other, and they're all competitive against each other.
That's true. So, yeah, I would say this game is probably my favorite take on the Crash characters. I don't know how popular an opinion that is, but I like it.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. And then it dwindles into Radical making actual platforming games, starting with Crash of the Titans.
Oh, but before we get to that, I want to give a shout out to the music for both Twinsanity and Tag Team Racing.
It's like
Spiral Mouth.
We miss you, Spiral Mouth. Come back, please.
Yeah, I want a new Crash game with music by them.
I would take any music by them, thank you.
Yeah, really. God, I just love all the music in Twinsanity, all the music in Tag Team Racing. It's just, especially in Tag Team Racing, since it's a mix of both a cappella and
normal
instruments.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we weren't sure how they would do the music, but I feel like their vocals really helped mash up with the actual music.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think they really work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, let's move on to Crash of the Titans. And I think this is when the Crash series really took off, am I right? Everyone loves this game.
I like it better. I like it better. We might as well not talk about Mind Over Mutant. I mean, well, no, we definitely will. For one reason, but we'll get to that.
I know the one.
Crash of the Titans, I honestly, like, I know it tried something new, like, the whole Titan theme was weird and whatnot, but honestly, sort of like Banjo-Tooie, I sort of like how all the levels sort of, like, connected together, like you're actually traveling from one part to another.
Yeah.
And they still kept the personalities of the characters of Tag Team Racing.
Like, that's one thing I definitely like about the later Crash games better is the humor the character takes.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the most obvious part of these games, the character designs.
Oh yeah, they totally revamped them. Everybody got a new design. Except Engine. Engine's sort of slightly more cartoonier, but other than that, he's like the only one who's a bit unchanged.
Yeah, and, you know, I think it also goes to say that he's probably one of the best ones in this game because they didn't change him that much.
Yeah, well, I guess they figured, oh, we already made him a zombie in the last game. What else can we radically design with him?
Because he's perfect as he is. He's a perfect, beautiful creature.
He's a zombie baby. We love him.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a gorgeous man.
But
let's talk about Crash himself. Crash certainly went through quite
he had a crisis because he had to get some tattoos and spike his hair up a bit.
Well, Crash has always had a mohawk, but I mean this time it kind of went down to his back.
Yeah, and again he had the tattoos, which everybody seemed to hate for some reason. I mean, I didn't mind them.
I don't hate them, but I think
it was weird. It was weird looking.
Fine,
it was a bit weird looking. But even then, the tattoos were really only on his arms.
Yeah. I think my only problem with this design for Crash is he's a little too cutesy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. Old
Crash has a lot of attitude to him.
Yeah.
It's ironic that he has those tattoos in this one, but he still comes across as kind of more generic animal platformer star now.
Yeah, and but yeah, everyone had a revamp in this game. Like the mask definitely did. Like
the masks have probably had the biggest one.
Yeah, Aku sort of maintains his color scheme, but like he becomes more like a tribal mask looking.
Yeah, I think that's actually pretty fitting.
Yeah, and then they got like Greg Eagles, the voice him now, who's known as Grim from Billy and Mandy.
Yeah, he's always great. I'm struggling to think of any roles that he's played that I didn't like. At least that I know of.
Yeah, and now he's officially Aku's voice, which is fine because I think it fits.
Yeah, I like him. And Uka Uka, how about his mask design?
I honestly don't care for it. I don't know what the hell they did with that one.
I think as a design it looks fine. Like, it looks kind of neat having, like, the teeth at the bottom.
Yeah,
but as an Uka Uka redesign,
it does not look like Uka Uka at all.
Yeah, at least with the other designs, you can tell that they were meant to be those characters. But this looks like a completely different character.
Yeah, they pretty much just changed him into a floating skull.
Yeah. And, like, if it were a new character, I'd be totally fine with it. But we're stuck with him as Uka Uka. Well, at least for then. Coco's redesign was pretty good.
It was cute. It was weird. I really liked the hair bandana combo she had going for her. It was an adorable design.
Yeah, I like that they gave her more of a muzzle, made her actually look like more of a bandicoot.
Yeah, that's right. Because she had more of a human face in the old games.
Yeah, I thought this one really suited her. Crunch's redesign, kind of weird.
Yeah, but they only have him in like the first cutscene. They're like, fuck Crunch. We'll just move on.
Yeah, I mean, other than being like his Mr. T personality is funny, but other than that, has Crunch ever really had like a good design?
No.
Yeah. So they could just do whatever for him, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, Dr. Cortex's design.
It's an interesting one.
I don't care for it. His head looks like his
head looks like a big thumb or like a big toe.
Well, his head. They look like they shrunk his head a bit.
Yeah. I don't hate his design. You can still tell it's Cortex enough, but I thought his design for tag team racing was perfect.
Yeah,
like it's basically his Twinsanity design, but like shrunken down. And I think making him really short really works for his character.
Yeah, tag team racing had a lot of the better designs of it.
Yeah, like Cortex. I think. Well, I would say it has a good Crash, but I think one of Crash's later ones looks even better.
Mm-hmm.
But Nina's design in this is all right. Like it's not bad, but they
really pushed the gothic Hot Topic girl on her on this one.
Yeah, and they lightened up on making her so ugly looking, which I don't know. I feel like making her sort of ugly works better for who she is.
Yeah, because previously she had the ugly cute, which it's like okay, you can definitely tell she's villainous, but in this she just looks like a try-hard Hot Topic girl.
Yeah, which it kind of suits her, but I don't know. It's fine, but I would be happy if they went back.
Yeah, are we gonna talk about Tiny?
Oh yeah, let's talk about Tiny Tiger. That was quite a change.
I was probably lost in translation. I don't think they had any idea he was supposed to be a Tasmanian tiger.
Yeah, I mean, he's just called Tiny Tiger, so they looked at the tiger part and said, let's make him an actual tiger.
Yeah, but they dropped that quickly in Mind Over Mutant. He never showed up again.
Yeah. A lot of people don't like this version of Tiny. I'll be honest, I don't mind it. I never was that into the original Tiny. Like, I don't hate the original Tiny, and honestly, I think they should stick to that version, but I didn't think this was like an offensive.
Well, I think the problem was though is one, they made him an actual tiger. Two, now he sounds like Mike Tyson. He doesn't sound like a blubbering, huge idiot.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't think I said it before, but I never really played the Naughty Dog games as a kid. I only recently played through them all, so I didn't have that connection to Tiny's original design.
Yeah.
So I'm sure for the people who grew up with the original Crash games, it was just awful.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I thought it's like I never really played the original games, but even now I was like, well, that's something.
Yeah, I thought he was funny, but I do think I think it would be a good idea to go back to how he was.
Yeah.
Just like the big brute.
Yeah. Okay. Before we move on to Mind Over Mutant, let's talk about the Titan designs a bit. They were pretty cool.
Oh yeah, there were some pretty cool ones. I'm struggling to think of any though. It's been a long time since I've played them.
I think the only ones I really like that I remember, I really like the Magna Turtle one, whose name I forgot.
Oh yeah.
And then I also like the it sort of like a weasel / wolf, but he like shot pink lasers out of his hands.
Oh yeah, didn't he like move faster than the others?
Yeah, he moved really fast, and he had like a giant pink mane on the back of him.
Yeah, I think one of the ones I really like is the boar looking one. I think it's like in the second or third level.
Oh yeah, I remember him. He was cool looking. He was really slow, but he could like break shit.
Yeah. One thing I'll say about Crash of the Titans, I love how the levels look.
Yes, especially there's one level where it's like a giant tree. That's absolutely beautiful level. I love the way it looks in that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Character design's hit and miss, but the levels, I'd say that game has my favorite looking levels.
Yeah, because they, like I said, the levels all connect, so it's not like your standard Crash levels. Oh, let's go to a pyramid, let's go underwater. It's just pretty much one big, like you're actually traveling around Wumpa Island a bit.
Yeah, which means you see some of the same level archetypes a few times, but I mean that's fine.
They're all drastically different looking from each other.
Yeah. Honestly, that's one of the games I look at for how I'd like the environments to look in Urchin. So I go to those Crash games a lot for inspiration on how I want things.
Oh, there you go.
Like the character interaction in Tag Team Racing, the environments on this one. But let's move to Mind Over Mutant. Not that there's that much to say, since overall it looks pretty much the same as Titans.
Yeah, but we should probably talk about the cutscenes for them.
Oh yeah,
because they got who did they get? Atomic Cartoons from Canada to do them.
Yeah, not the best animation studio, but they do a good job.
Yeah, they made it work because each area had like its own visual style, which was really weird but really funny at the same time.
Yeah, some of them work, some of them not as much. Like the puppet one is hilarious.
Mm-hmm. And then like it goes for like an anime look at one, like near the end, and then a South Park look for another.
Yeah. Like, at first, that's really weird because they all just kind of go for the look the Canadian characters have, but then you remember Atomic Cartoons? Isn't Radical in Canada?
Yeah, Radical was in Canada at the time, too.
Yeah, so I guess that makes sense having them all look like the Canadian characters.
Yeah, even the opening cutscene in both games was by Radical, where it just uses, like, puppet silhouettes. That was really cool looking.
Those are, yeah... Don't those in Crash of the Titans at least, don't the menus kind of have that same look? Like not the silhouettes, but like kind of the.
It has the background and the menu. Yeah, it has that tribal look to them.
Yeah, like those are really simple, but they look really nice. And like the Voodoo Doll collectibles.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell everyone a little something about Mind Over Mutant?
It's a fun game and it's all right.
Tell them about something fan art related about it.
Do I have to? Come on, man.
Yeah, you do.
All right.
Tell everyone at home.
So when the game was coming out, this kid website had a contest for it where you can have your art submitted and win a copy of the game. Well, I had this really shitty Coco picture I drew from Crash of the Titans, and it's an old art, so it's not one of my better ones. Not one I look fondly back on.
It wasn't that shitty.
And I could do better.
You're better now.
I could do way better, but so they come back and they're like, "Oh, we want to use your art." It's like, and then I looked at the rules. I'm like, "Oh, I'm way over the age. I have to be like 10 years old." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I was being honest. I'm like, I did not read the rules. It's like I did not read that I had to be a certain age." And then they come back and they're like, "Well, we still want to use your art and put your name in it if you want." I'm like, all right, that's fine.
If that's what you guys want to do,
so
your decision.
It's like, hey, my name and my art's in a Crash Bandicoot game, and that's stuck there forever, so why the hell not?
Yeah, look at Mr. Famous over here with his art in a Crash Bandicoot game.
And on top of that, I won another contest where I got a strategy guide signed by the team before Activision screwed them over.
What was the... Oh, yeah.
It was a Photoshop thing on one of the Crash forums.
Oh, wasn't it you needed to, like, Photoshop a screenshot from one of the games?
Yeah, it was of the big stupid-looking Cortex boss at the end of Mind Over Mutant. You had to, like, design the funniest 3 different designs for it, and I did, like, a Pee Wee Herman one. And then I did one of him as an opera singer, so they picked mine, and it's like, okay. It's like... Mind Over Mutant, it's a Crash game that relates to me a lot, I guess.
See, the Crash Bandicoot series is so unstable that could theoretically be Cortex's persona in the next game.
Pee Wee Herman?
Yeah, Pee Wee Herman or an opera singer or whatever, who knows?
Get Paul Rubens. Get Paul Rubens to sing opera.
Yeah, I mean, I love Lex Lang, but I mean, I don't know.
Paul Rubens, where are you, man? We'll take you.
I wouldn't be opposed to hearing it.
Paul Rubens as every character.
Yeah, why not? We have him in the studio. Just have him voice all the characters.
Yeah, just her now. You go home now. Aww.
Is there anything else about Crash? Oh, let's talk about Insane Trilogy.
You might as well bring up Insane. I'm 75% on board with this. Like, I'm actually really excited to play these again, but the art design is very, very, very hit and miss right now.
Yeah. Well, you're about 75%. I'm more in the 35% range.
I think when you saw Engine's design, you were like, "Oh, okay." It went from 50 to 35.
It's baffling because like some parts of the game look really good and some parts look really awful.
Yeah.
Like Cortex looks wonderful in this game. He's really well animated. His model looks great. Crash looks all right. Like he's looked better. Oh, we forgot to talk about the Skylanders.
We'll go back to Skylanders because that's a spinoff.
Yeah. But yeah, Crash looks okay. Cortex looks great, but just about all the other characters look dreadful. Well, like Tana looks all right, I guess. Not really anything great. Engine looks fucking awful.
Yeah, Engine's he's more of a monstrosity than he ever was.
Yeah, maybe that's what they were going for, but I mean, like, he was always meant to be ugly, but at least he was, like, cartoony ugly. Here he just looks, like, really unappealing. He's, like, all wrinkly, and he has, like, realistic human hair.
He looks like a deformed Chucky doll is what a really bad Chucky doll.
Yeah, it's so weird to me, because Cortex looks really cartoony and fun and cool, and Engine just looks like this bizarre, like Chucky doll, like you said. Like, it looks like he looks like kind of realistic, like realistic textures slapped on a weird cartoony model.
Yeah.
It just baffles me that they would do that. But, you know, Crash looks pretty good. The Komodo brothers look awful, but I mean, it's not like they look that great to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the other characters didn't have much to work off of anyway. So.
Yeah.
Ripperoo looks pretty good from what we've seen.
Yeah, and Coco looks adorable.
Yeah, we haven't seen that much of Coco, but she looks pretty good.
Yeah, I like how she looks. I like the fact that she does the Crash dance with Crash now.
Yeah. The levels, like you said, are pretty hit and miss. Some levels look really good, some levels look really bad. I really like how that motorcycle level looked. That one's probably my favorite level.
And especially since you... hey, just think how you love that volcano level with the jet ski. Think how that might look.
Oh, yeah, I'm wondering how that's gonna look. And like, here's the thing about it. Like, I really don't care for what I saw, but, like, even you said, and I've seen other people on Twitter say that once they played it, they were more on board.
Oh, yeah, because I played a demo at GameStop, and I was like, wow, this is actually really cool. I actually like how it looks, like, up close, and it plays really well.
Yeah, so maybe once I play it, I'll come around on it. And, like I said, I like some things they're doing with it. It's just like, some things are a little bad. I just feel like they could do a lot more with it than what they did.
Yeah, but we gotta remember, this is under Activision. You know, they're not gonna pay for anything unless it's Call of Duty.
I really have a feeling it comes down to this being Activision giving them a low budget, and B, them needing to stretch that budget across remaking 3 different games.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm sure they're doing their best with what they're given. I just hope the next Crash game, they do more with it stylistically.
Yeah, we just gotta hope that this does well to warrant another Crash game.
Yeah, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt with it. Even though some things look pretty awful in it, I guess they could be worse.
Yeah.
But speaking of Activision and Vicarious Visions, let's take a step back really fast, just really fast, and talk about Crash and Skylanders. How do you feel about how all that looks?
First of all, let's talk about Skylanders a bit.
Okay. Not too much.
Exactly.
We've been talking a whole lot about Crash.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta think, when you look at Skylanders a bit, like the art style again, some of the designs of the characters are really, and a lot of them are really cool looking. Crash and Cortex, their Skylander designs are really, really cool looking.
I'll say the designs, at least for Crash, that's the best I think Crash has ever looked.
Sort of like Project Spark Conquer.
Yeah, exactly. And like Cortex looks great in it too. I don't know if I would say it's my favorite of his designs, but it still looks really good.
Yeah, because Crash has like he's very cartoony in this.
Yeah,
like he doesn't have like the super cutesy look at all, but it's not overly designed. It sort of looks like his Twinsanity one, but like a little more stylized, and he actually has Jess Harnell's voice, so it brings out more personality to it.
Yeah, I'd say this is probably he's looked the most unhinged in this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like he has like one pupil bigger than the other, just makes him look like slightly crazy.
Well, no, that's Crash. He's slightly crazy. He's a failed experiment.
Yeah. But yeah, we've talked about Crash long enough. This has grown tiresome. Crash Bandicoot, awesome overall. Cool stuff. Hope Insane Trilogy is good.
Yep, me too. Do we want to stop here, or do we want to talk about one more?
Let's do one more each.
One more each, so another hour?
Yeah, that's... I got time.
Okay.
You got time? How are you doing? I mean, we could just do one more if you want to wrap it up.
Let's do one more.
Okay, that works.
Go ahead and pick. I picked Crash last time.
Alright, I think for my last pick, I'll go with the LucasArts game.
Oh yeah, let's talk about LucasArts.
That was kind of one of the main ones I wanted to talk about.
Yes, let's talk about them. I guess we should start with Monkey Island, huh?
Monkey Island's as great a place to start as any. So I love the Monkey Island games.
No, I love them too.
Well, you love most of them. Did you ever play you haven't played the first one yet, have you?
I played the first one to a point, and I just sort of, when you travel on the mountain, I just sort of got bored of it a bit.
I get you. I really think you should give it a chance sometime. I would say it's not as good as the other ones.
It's definitely one of those where I definitely want to get back to it at some point.
It still has a lot going for it.
But I think probably after playing 2, I probably won't like it as much.
Oh, no way. 2 is better. But one still has some cool things.
I'll definitely play 1 again sometime.
Yeah, like, it's still funny. It still has a lot of humor. It has some really cool music.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest, I didn't play the Monkey Island games originally when they came out. I didn't play 1 and 2 until the special editions came out.
Oh, yeah. I only played Curse of Monkey Island first before I played any of the other ones.
Yeah, we'll get to Curse. Curse is great, but
yeah, like
Monkey Island 1, not a whole lot to say about it. Honestly, the special editions remade graphics aren't that great. They're all right, but they do the job, but they're kind of weird.
The first game's not really overly cartoony. I feel like the second game, LeChuck's Revenge, sort of really brought out the cartooniness in Monkey Island.
Definitely, I love LeChuck's Revenge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely my favorite Monkey Island game.
Yeah, the colors for it are so nice, especially in the special edition. I don't know how popular the special edition is, but I love it. I love it.
Oh yeah, I love them. I could play it. Honestly, I could play either version. I've played both the original version and the special edition. I could play either of them. I love that game.
Yeah, the original version looks great too, especially for the time. Those backgrounds especially look great. The characters are all great. I've said it, I don't think I've said it on this show before, but, I've said it to you a bunch of times, but LeChuck is definitely one of my favorite villains in, like, any...
Oh yeah, LeChuck's great, because, like, he's very, very sinister. He's very sinister, but he has a comical side to him.
Yeah, a lot of that humor comes from how sinister he is.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially when you gotta remember, Guybrush Threepwood is like not the bravest character ever, but the fact that LeChuck's constantly being foiled by what a weirdo wuss Guybrush is, he would definitely be pissed off a lot.
Yeah, it's this big, powerful, all-feared pirate ghost zombie who's just constantly brought down by this dork, this scrawny dork, yeah. And honestly, I'd say Guybrush is a great protagonist, too.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He's just funny.
Guybrush is very likable. Like, you know, sometimes he comes off as a jackass, but it's not like the characters in his surroundings are any better than he is.
Yeah, I think the thing about Guybrush is he's a jackass, but anytime he's a jackass, he usually gets what's coming to him. So, like, he can be an asshole, but he's still usually the butt of the jokes, too.
Yeah, basically. And even then, like, a lot of times when he's being a jackass, he's just sort of one-upping the person who was a jackass to him first.
Yeah, exactly. Not a whole lot to say about Monkey Island 2 other than it's really good.
Yeah.
It's really good. It looks really good.
Yeah, Curse is what brought out the cartooniness, because they brought in the hand-drawn stuff.
Yeah. I like Curse a lot. I don't think it's my favorite, but it's still really good. I love how it looks.
Mm-hmm.
The first game with Guybrush's voice actor, who's
Dominique something.
Man, sorry I don't remember his name, but he's cool. He does a great job as Guybrush.
Yeah, I'm glad they kept him around.
Yeah, I'm glad they kept all of them around. Like, all of those voices just match the character.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Lions, LeChucks.
Yeah, the only thing that disappointed me about Curse was that in LeChuck's Revenge, like, Guybrush had this really cool jacket and his goatee, and they sort of got rid of that. But I think they even made a comment about that in Curse when you talk to the voodoo lady.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because she's like, "Where's your coat?" And I think he's like, "Oh, I sort of lost it or something."
I definitely want to replay Curse sometime this year, because, like, I replayed the first one and the second one not too long ago. But since Curse doesn't have a special edition, I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I'd love to sometime soon.
Oh yeah, there you go.
How about Escape from Monkey Island?
I never played it.
Me neither.
I just know it's really ugly looking. It's kind of ugly looking, that's all I know. I hear it's good, though.
Yeah, like, a lot of Monkey Island fans kind of look at it as, like, the black sheep of the series, but from what I remember, it reviewed well all the same.
Yeah, I think it was also the first console Monkey Island, because they put it on PS2.
Oh, yeah. Like, I think what it comes down to as, a lot of people see it as the worst Monkey Island game, but still a good game on its own.
Yeah, so that's saying something about the series.
Yeah, I'll play it. I think I want to order it and play it at some time, just to say I have.
Yeah, they should just put it on PS4 Classics. That'd be great.
Yeah, I'd definitely get it then.
Yeah.
Okay, Tales of Monkey Island. That brings us to the most recent in the Monkey Island
Yeah, that's
series.
when
The most recent being 10 years ago.
Telltale Games sort of revived the point-and-click adventure games.
Yeah, I don't know how popular an opinion this is, but this is my favorite in the Monkey Island series.
Oh yeah, I love them. I love the characters. Morgan Le Fay is like one of my favorite video game female characters. She's adorable. I like her personality a lot.
She has a cool design.
Yeah, exactly. And Nikki Rapp voices her.
Yeah.
If you don't know who she is, she's a great voice actress. She voices Lily in Psychonauts and Lily in the Walking Dead game.
She voices a lot of Lily characters.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, she's a great new addition. I'd love if they kept her around, which they kind of hint at.
Yeah, and then they brought back the staples, like LeChuck's there, Elaine's there, Guybrush is there, and Stan is there.
Yeah, this is probably my favorite Guybrush design. I feel like it just brings in all the best parts.
Yeah, because they brought back his goatee and jacket from 2, and then he has like his stretched out face from Curse.
Yeah, so when I think Guybrush, this is the design I think of.
Yeah, it's one of the best designs. LeChuck doesn't look too bad either.
Yeah, LeChuck looks really good in it. His face is a little weird. I don't know what my favorite LeChuck design is.
Yeah, I know.
They're all pretty good.
Yeah, Curse also has my favorite Elaine design. I really love her design in Tales.
Yeah, both of them are really good. Yeah, I'd say both LeChuck and Elaine both have good designs, like, all throughout the series.
Yeah, well...
So does Guybrush. It's just,
yeah. Well, I'll be honest. I'm a bit mixed on Elaine's design and Curse. It's something, but it works.
Oh, it's your mix on her designing? I thought you said it was your favorite.
No, Tails is my favorite design. Curse. Her Curse design, I'm just like, okay.
It's all right. I think considering.
Yeah, for how that game's designed, it's good.
Yeah.
It's just not my favorite.
They also introduced Reginald Von Winslow.
Oh yeah, and then he was in Poker Night at the Inventory as your host.
Yeah, Yeah, I like him. I'm glad they keep him around those poker nights.
Yeah, he's a great character.
Telltale owns him. Like, I guess Disney didn't get the rights to him because they're able to mention him by name. And
well, you gotta remember though, Disney didn't own LucasArts at the time when they created that too. So
yeah, but they owned Monkey Island series when they made Poker Night 2, but by that point they were able to call him Reginald von Winslow.
Yeah, so they probably figured that out.
Yeah. I mean, who knows what'll happen with Monkey Island from this point on? Hopefully good things.
Well, considering that Disney has allowed Double Fine to remastered a lot of the LucasArts games, I don't see any problem with them trying to revive it.
Yeah, maybe a Double Fine run Monkey Island.
Hey, they got the creator to make the cave. I don't see why they couldn't make a new Monkey Island.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, I guess that sums up Monkey Island. Which one should we move on to now?
Let's just hit Sam and Max real quick.
That sounds good.
I mean, originally not a LucasArts creation, but let's just talk about Steve Purcell and Sam and Max for a moment, because they're great characters.
They're great characters. It's just a great series all around. I can't think of any Sam and Max thing that I haven't liked.
Oh yeah, the cartoon was great. The comics are fantastic. All the games are really great.
Yeah, I'd say the first season of the Telltale games is a little not as good. Like, still.
You gotta remember, they were trying to, because LucasArts originally canceled what they were planning, and then they sort of just took over.
Yeah,
and this was like, wasn't this like one of their first projects they ever did too?
I think before that they did like the Bone games and just some other poker games.
Yeah, but even then, the Bone games, they sort of dropped it after a game or two.
Yeah, which is too bad. That could have been a cool series. But let's go to Sam and Max Hit the Road. Have you played that any recently?
No, I've been wanting. I probably will now that we're talking about it.
Yeah, I've been really wanting to lately. I've been looking at like screenshots of it. It has really nice art direction for it. Like all the backgrounds look cool, the characters look.
Oh yeah, because it's a road trip. Like I said to you the other day, they were trying to go for that. You know how they're visiting all these locations. We got to make them look like a bunch of tourist traps.
Yeah, it's really weird thinking about it. How like Monkey Island was in a fantasy pirate world. Day of the Tentacle had its own thing going on, but Sam and Max went with like cartoony, exaggerated versions of like real world locations.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, well, like fictional locations and some real world locations.
Well, the characters themselves are like a lot more cartoony too. They weren't really. Were they really that much in the comics? The human designs?
Not really. At least not at that point. I think in Steve Purcell's later comics, they kind of started getting more exaggerated.
Yeah, because I have that one panel where they're talking to a stewardess, and she has like a sort of realistic old comic book feel to them, while they're just this cartoony rabbit and dog. But none of the humans look like that in Hit the Road.
Oh yeah, yeah. Hit the Road is more akin to the later look. And the Telltale games, they look all right. Like, they don't look bad, but, they were their early games, kind of low budget.
Yeah, exactly. It was a bit jarring to see Sam and Max in 3D as well.
Yeah, they look good for what they are.
They got better, though. Like, as soon as Season 2 and 3 came out, the games and the designs became a lot better.
Oh, especially Season 3. Season 3 looks great.
Oh, yeah. Season 3 is definitely the best of them.
Yeah. Here's a question. Everyone has their own answers. What Sam and Max series has your favorite voices for the characters?
It's a very, very big mix. Like, I would say my favorite Max voice is the later Season 1, all Season 2, Season 3. But I'd say my favorite Sam voice is probably the cartoon series.
Oh, yeah. I forget his name, but he's a
it's Harvey Keitel or something, I think.
Yeah. He's in a lot of roles, isn't he? He's in Mario.
Yeah, he was King Koopa in the old Mario cartoons. Yeah. And then he was in Ruby Gloom.
Oh yeah, as the ghost.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I would say the cartoons have my favorite voices for both characters. I just love how high energy they are, and I love the juxtaposition of that high energy performance with their kind of sarcastic deadpan dialogue.
Oh yeah.
It just made them sound really excited about everything they said.
Yeah, exactly. Also, I also really like Bill Farmer as Sam. He definitely, I love his deadpan snarker voice for the Hit the Road.
Yeah, I definitely say none of the voices are bad. I'd say they're all good takes on it.
Well, the first episode of season 1, Max, is
Yeah,
I love that voice actor, but his Max is not my favorite at all.
Yeah, and Sam's Telltale voice actor started out kind of not great, but he's definitely gotten better as he goes.
Oh yeah, definitely, now. especially season 3 where he has to be more dramatic with Sam. It's really good.
But yeah, that's Sam and Max. Great design. I really like the way he draws like rats and cockroaches.
Those are like his staples in Sam and Max.
Yeah. Let's move on to probably my favorite of the LucasArts games, Day of the Tentacle.
Before we talk about that, we gotta mention it's a sequel to Maniac Mansion,
which I have never played.
And I only played briefly. It's okay.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of LucasArts or point-and-click games in general where you can die. Or get stuck like that.
Yeah, but okay, let's talk about Day of the Tentacle, because that was a very over-exaggerated...
It's definitely a big change from Maniac Mansion.
Yeah, I know a lot of people... Oh no, only one person really hated it, but who cares about him?
Yeah. I love how cartoony Day of the Tentacle looks.
Oh yeah, I love it. I love the design.
Chuck Jones-esque look.
Yeah, and I love the three main characters. I mean, Bernard looks great. Hoagie's great. I love Laverne. I love how
insane.
she's so I love how she's off her rocker a bit.
Yeah, this is really one of those games where just every character is good. They're all funny.
Oh yeah, and they
all have appealing designs.
Exactly. All of them look very different from each other. Yeah.
I love Weird Ed Edison and his voice that sounds more like this.
Oh yeah, he's sort of like Tina Belcher, but as a huge muscular dude.
Oh yeah, he has the glasses.
Yeah, he sort of looks like Tina Belcher, and he collects stamps.
I never made that connection until now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know I've said this about all these games, but Day of the Tentacle has some of my favorite backgrounds in any video game.
Oh yeah, they're really, especially I love the fact that it's technically all the same thing. You're just at the mansion, but it takes place between 3 different timelines.
Yeah, but they all look sort of similar. They're all sort of in the same location, just in
it matches that era.
Basically what you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I just love how everything's so warped. Everything kind of looks like it's leaning over.
Yeah, exactly. And even the character designs look like the presidents, they're all weird looking.
Everything's just really exaggerated in that game, which is really cool to see.
And it just maintained the whole cartoony. There's wild takes, there's slapstick. They just went all out in a huge interactive cartoon game with this.
Yeah, that's partly why it's my favorite LucasArts game. It's part the puzzles being tricky, but not overly
annoying. Yeah,
for the most part.
Yeah.
It's just perfect to me. Characters are great. Music is really cool. Music has that sort of...
The humor is dead on.
Yeah, it's sort of Danny Elfman-esque.
Oh, yeah.
Early Danny Elfman.
The Tim Burton-esque music.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, is there that much is there that much left to say about it other than it's really cool?
Purple Tentacle's a great villain.
Purple Tentacle is a great villain. I love those tentacle designs in general.
I know. I mean, they're so simple, but I love the fact that the suction cups are the eyes in the mouth.
Yeah, they're so simple, but just cool creature designs.
Yeah, and then I mean, they were even in the first game, but they really made them more. They look like normal tentacles in the first game, but in this they were really cartoony.
Yeah, and you said I know too, but isn't there a fan game that's remaking the Maniac Mansion?
Oh yeah, that's been in the works for years, but they say they're still making it. I think they call it Night of the Meteor.
That's cool. I'll definitely give that a try.
Yeah, whenever it gets made. I know they still update periodically, but it's one of those updates where they update every 10 months, but they say they're making it.
Yeah, I mean, at least it's something.
Mm-hmm.
At least they haven't been hit by a cease and desist yet.
Yeah, who knows how that'll go, though, because Disney owns them now, so it might be a little harder.
Hope they don't catch wind of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I said earlier that Crash of the Titans was what I looked at for inspiration for Urchin background designs, but what I really meant to say was that Day of the Tentacle is what I look at least recently. Because I got a shitload of screenshots from it when playing it on PS4.
Oh yeah, I love the character designs in that game. I usually go to that when I look at characters. Like I said, I love Laverne's look. That's normally where I probably get my love for female characters who are a bit deranged or crazy.
Yeah, the one weird eye, the crazy hair, the foot long fingers.
Yeah, and how her sweater is just a mess.
Yeah. All of those characters are great. Hoagie's great.
Oh yeah, I love how in the first game Bernard was just this your high school movie typical nerd, but in this he's really slack jawed. He's
yeah, they really play up the nerdiness of him. But that's to stereotypical levels.
The thing is though, he's not in this game. He looks like a nerd, he acts like a nerd, but he's not super nerdy.
Yeah. I mean,
his voice really works, and don't forget, even that design ended up and hit the road. He's the Snuckies guy.
Oh yeah, that's so weird. That's weird. Oh, he's the same voice and everything.
Yeah, it's the same voice as Bernard. He's the Snuckies guy too, but it's the same design as Bernard.
That's awesome. I knew it was the same design, but I didn't know he was the same.
Oh yeah,
voice
if you go back, you could definitely hear it's Bernard's voice.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, Bernard has friends at least, so he's a nerd, but at least there's some people there for him.
It's weird though, because one of them, Hoagie, he's this huge rocker roadie guy, but he's friends with him.
Yeah. I guess it would make sense for him to be friends with Laverne since she's a med student and
a bit crazy, yeah.
Yeah, I guess they're all just outcasts. Bernard is the nerd, Laverne is the freaky, insane, and Hoagie's just kind of your lazy, not all there roadie. So
yeah, pretty much.
They make a good trio.
Mm-hmm. Well,
is there anything else about Day of the Tentacle to talk about? It's great, but I mean, we pretty much covered all the bases.
Yeah, it's pretty much it. It's just a much better Maniac Mansion.
Yeah. Honestly, I know there's other ones like Grim Fandango and Full Throttle, but I haven't really played.
Yeah, I played Full Throttle. Maybe it's my opinion that I never really got into it, but I know a lot of people love it. I'm not saying I hate it. It's just I never got into it.
I get you, and I want to give it a try, especially since the remastered version came out. I hear Grim Fandango is one of the best point and click.
Yeah, I do want to try Grim Fandango sometime. I don't know why I've never gotten around to it, especially since the PS4 has it.
Yeah, I've had it downloaded for years.
And you still haven't played it?
I'll get to it. I'll probably play it this year.
You got a lot of point and click games to catch. Before we go off, I want to bring up another thing about point and click games.
Alrighty.
Toonstruck, starring
Christopher Lloyd.
Brown. Yeah. Doc Brown. I know you haven't really played it a lot.
Yeah, so this is all you. I haven't played more than like a few minutes. I
definitely recommend it. It's definitely one of those. Definitely did not hit the mark. Like, it's really good, but like, it didn't sell well.
Oh yeah.
But I love the fact that like all of the character designs were done by Nirvana, like before they hit the Flash era up there in Canada.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah, it says done by Nirvana Animation Studios. I'm like, oh, that's why they're all cartoony and cool looking.
Huh, I never knew that.
Yeah, and
cool.
Plus, like, all the voices are, like, well-known voice actors. Like, you got Jim Cummings in there, you got Tress MacNeille, and then Tim Curry, I think, is the villain. Yeah, as usual, Tim Curry, Mr. Villain Guy.
As always.
But yeah, I just want to say how I missed that era when point-and-click games were, like, cartoony and 2D animation, but had, like, a comical dark side to them.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of wish Telltale would get back to that, too. They used to make the Sam & Max games, Monkey Island.
Yeah, but now they're doing Walking Dead and whatever franchise they can buy up.
Yeah, I mean, I like those Walking Dead games they make, but I'd kind of like a little more variety.
Mm-hmm. Still waiting for season 4 of Sam & Max, guys.
They gotta make it sometime.
They're gonna make season 7 of Walking Dead before they consider a season 4 of Sam & Max.
Probably. At this point, Disney could even probably have them make another Monkey Island, but I mean, would they even? They don't really make those kinds of games anymore.
Well, I know the original creator wants to buy the series back, but what's he gonna do with it?
Yeah, I mean, Ron Gilbert's cool. He's made a lot of great games.
Oh yeah, I respect Ron Gilbert. I know his newest one is really popular too.
Oh, Thimbleweed Park?
Yeah, I heard it's really good.
Yeah, I really want to play it at some point. It's just I don't have money to throw at every game that comes out right away.
So many games this summer.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Let's see. Are there any other we don't have a whole lot of time to talk about them, but are there any other art games with art direction like that you just kind of like to throw out there?
Nah. Not really. A lot of the ones I play well, I want to say BioShock Infinite, but that's more for location, not character design.
I get you. It still kind of counts.
Yeah, I love.
I mean, as long as you like something about how it looks.
Yeah, I love the visuals design, level designs in that are fantastic. But other than that, that's pretty much it. I mean, a lot of the other games I play are like, they're your standard Japanese artsy games like Parappa the Rapper or something, or maybe something like Ratchet and Clank or Sly Cooper.
We're both big fans of Ratchet and Clank and Sly Cooper.
Mm-hmm. I kind of wish we would get a new Sly Cooper, because the last game sort of left us on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, especially on PS4 now. Just imagine how it'll look.
I know,
Keys and Time look great on PS3.
I know, so. And the team that did it, they're still doing games. Just get them to make it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they're doing much besides making Sonic Boom.
Yes, yeah.
One game I'd like to give an honorable mention to is Grabbed by the Ghoulies. I won't talk too much about it, but it's one of my favorite games. Very underrated game. I'll defend that game to the death.
Yeah, I like it too, but I'll let you talk about it. Since you love it a lot more.
Again, really cartoony look, cool cartoony designs, especially the ghoulies themselves. The environments are really cool looking. They said, I forget who on the team said it, I think Greg Mails said it, but he said one of their goals for the game was to make sure that, like, nothing was designed with, like, a straight line. Everything was kind of, like, wonky and warped.
I could definitely see where they're coming from with that. It was very wonky and warped.
Yeah, the colors for the game are really cool. It's just has a lot of personality. It's great, and I wish more people loved it.
Yeah, well, at least we love it, and that's all that matters.
That's all that's important. One game series with some designs I really like. I've only played a little bit of it, but I want to play more of it, are the Oddworld games.
Oh, I've never played them. I just know they sound really hard and probably not my cup of tea. Hard.
Yeah, I've played a little bit of the first one. It's very hard. I want to go back to it sometime because I like what they do with like the characters and the world and everything.
I love the designs. Yeah.
Yes, I feel like that would be enough to get me to play through, how hard it is.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Some point I'll get to it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that does it for us. Let's tell them where they can find us. You can find me on Twitter at Dustin Demon, no spaces, all one word. I just said Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter.
Tumblr, Dustin's Crazy Wacky Doodles. I have a comic on Tapastic called Urchin. Yeah, that's about it. Where can they find your stuff?
I'm mostly just the artist. I draw a lot of stupid fan art, and I do have original characters, but I don't do anything with them like Dustin does.
You draw them enough.
I draw them enough.
For people to know 'em.
My Twitter account is Frimpies, which is sorry, I can't spell it. Like, FRIMPYS. Or I have a Tumblr which is called Phil Doodle Draws. It's spelled how it sounds.
Yeah, basically we just post art whenever.
Yeah, and if you can't find it, ask Dustin. He'll get it to you.
Yeah. So I don't know who's gonna be hosting this next week. I don't know if it's gonna be more guest hosts or your regular hosts, but whoever it is.
I'd love to come back. By the way, it's fun.
Yeah. It's always fun to just talk about whatever garbage.
Yeah, especially if it involves cartoony whatever. I love cartoons.
Yeah, so whoever's hosting next, be on your best behavior.
Yeah, Santa Claus is watching you.
He's coming to town sooner than you think.
Yeah, he's coming to town, alright. He's got a list.
I'll say he's coming to town. I don't know what that's meant to imply, but
it's Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Alright, we're out of here. Bye!
Bye!
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Ink and Paint Club podcast. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you can catch a new episode every week. Also be sure to follow us on our Facebook and Twitter so you can keep up with the show. Links are in the description. We'll see you next week.